Hey everybody, this is Andy the Gemini Man, and as you can see,
John the Mystic Rider.
Yep. And this is a new format of CoasterFaQs Reacts and Reviews we're doing, and the first episode we're doing is for the announcements they have just announced. Disney has announced for their parks at D23, which is their big convention they do every year.
Yep.
And at this past weekend they've announced like a bunch of stuff for their parks. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first item, as you're going to see on the screen here, see on the screen, Cars. Little bittersweet announcement. Tom Sawyer's Island and the Rivers of America in the Frontierland section of the Magic Kingdom at Disney World is being transformed into a Cars attraction at Frontierland, which you can see on the screen with the concept art right now. So yeah, here's what everything we're reading off of is from Coasters, the website Coasters 101, and we'll leave the link to that in the description here. Here's what it says. Cars are coming to Frontierland at the Magic Kingdom. A reimagined section of Frontierland will feature two Cars-inspired attractions. One attraction will take you an exciting rally race through the mountains, while the second one will be geared towards families and younger guests. Construction on the Cars update is set to begin next year. Also, we should clarify that it's not going to be Radiator Springs like in California Adventure, but something completely different. But yes, as you can see from the that it is going to be. It looks like the ride is going to be have commentary by Lightning McQueen and Mater, but you're the racers in this situation, which actually, like I said, it's bittersweet. But it looked cool, but two classic attractions from Disney, from the Magic Kingdom, are going away because of this. But what's your thoughts?
And then again, it's not. It still could go either way. And from what I can tell, even though it's not Radiator Springs, it looks like it's supposed to be in the same area based on the concept art. It looks like it's supposed to be in the more or less western area, just like where Radiator Springs was. So maybe it'll have a similar theming, it just with a different location.
The only thing is going to look weird is because it's in the section it's going to be that it's taking over is going to be where right across from the Haunted Mansion. So it's kind of going to look weird trying to look at Haunted Mansion where a bunch of cars, talking cars are.
Well, then again, Disney's pretty good with theming, so they might have like some sort of like there might be some division between the two, just enough to help hide one from the other, so they would not interfere with each other.
Yep. All right, now for that we're going back to California to Disneyland, which is their version of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is replacing Splash Mountain, is opening on November 15th of this year. So yeah, I personally have heard all the flack that the one over in Florida has gotten, and it has not been that popular because even though it has high-tech animatronics and stuff, it is not, from what I've understood, not that great of a ride, and Splash Mountain was better, but it's a bit mixed reviews from what I've heard.
Maybe the one that they're building in California might be better.
Well, like I said,
they might have fixed some of the mistakes.
Yeah, and something for the Star Wars fan underneath where I just read, there is going to be a new story coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. It will tie into the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie, expected to see in the new adventures from the movie when it comes out in 2026. And the concept art is on the screen right now, as you can see. So yeah, I'm gonna say obviously Mandalorian is one of the more popular Star Wars series on Disney Plus. So I'm not surprised that it's getting its own movie coming out in two years from now.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how many of the characters are going to be making a return, as well as in not just in the ride. Obviously, if they're talking about Mando and Grogu, obviously Din Djarin and the Mandalorian, as well as Grogu are going to be in it. But are you going to see characters like Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano, or Boba Fett? Are they going to be making cameo appearances in it?
Right, but well, we'll have to wait for that because as I should explain, yes, some of these concepts are in the future, but they're not going to come like right away. So, the next one underneath that, great moments with Mr. Disney. That's not the official thing. A new Walt Disney animatronic is coming to Disneyland. The first ever Walt Disney robot will debut as part of Walt Disney A Magical Life, which will move into the Main Street Opera House, rotating with great moments with Mr. Lincoln. Don't worry, Mr. Lincoln won't be gone. So those of you who aren't familiar, when Disneyland first opened, there was a show with animatronic Abraham Lincoln called Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, which is in the theater they are speaking of. And from what I've understood of this, they're actually it's going to be a replica of Walt Disney's office from his studio in Burbank. And from what I've understood, since the days after this announcement, the actual family is not too happy about the animatronic of their relative being in the park. So yeah, it's mixed feelings about it. I mean, yeah, it's neat they're gonna have one in there, but also go with pay respect to what the family wants. Don't upset them because you want a giant animatronic of your founder in the park. And underneath that, I think John will get a kick out of this. Disney's California Avengers Infinity Defense. Disney's California Adventure is getting the promised Avengers e-ticket attraction, Avengers Infinity Defense, start construction next year. The ride will feature technology that jumps you to different worlds, sending you to places like Wakanda, Asgard, and New York to fight alongside the Avengers. And the concept art is going over the screen right now. And this will also include the Stark Flight Lab, and another new attraction is coming to the Avengers campus at DCA. The ride will look like a Kuka arm attraction, but not too much more in the way of details. So yes, if anyone's not familiar with what a Kuka arm is, it's a robotic arm that has seats on it and it moves you around.
Yeah, I also am looking at some of the concept art, and the one in silhouette, I'm almost positive that's supposed to be Thanos. So I'm pretty sure Thanos is going to be the main antagonist of the ride.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm actually looking at it as well, and the closer I look into it, it does look like it's Thanos.
Yeah, it's Thanos wielding that big giant double-bladed thing that he had in Endgame.
Yep. Let's see here. Another thing I know John would get a kick out of here. Avatar Land. Yes, they're getting an Avatar section at Disney's California Adventure like they have at Animal Kingdom. A whole new Avatar Land themed to Avatar: The Way of Water, as well as inspired by future Avatar films. It's also coming to Disney's California Adventure. The new land will feature a thrilling, immersive boat ride.
So essentially, Disney World got the rides based on the first movie. Disneyland's getting rides based on the second movie,
and possibly the third and fourth movies. Because also at DCA, James Cameron announced that announced the trailer for the third Avatar film that's coming out later next year.
Yeah, but that's a different story.
Yeah, that's a different story. Next up for Disneyland, a ride based off the film Coco. the first ever Coco-inspired ride is coming to Disney's California Adventure. Unlike the Avatar attractions, we get some specifics on the Coco ride. It will break ground in 2026.
Yeah, it doesn't say much on the site, but it looks like it's just going to be based on the concept image that's on the screen now. Looks like you're going to be in a decent sized boat going through a course that surrounded by scenery that's based on the movie Coco. Well, the Land of the Dead, to be more specific.
Yeah, but all again, like John said, all that we have is this picture of the concept art that you just saw a minute ago on the screen. But so no further details for it as of right now. But like it says, they'll break ground on it in 2026. Next up, Disney's Animal Kingdom, and this is the big one that came out D23, Dino Land USA, which was the home of the ride based off the film that me and John grew up with, Dinosaur, will be no more. It will be transformed into an 11-acre tropical Americas land, which will feature two major attractions. The first one, which is replacing Dinosaur, a new area that will feature Indiana Jones attraction with an entirely new story. That is the one that's replacing the Dinosaur attraction at Animal Kingdom.
As long as it does not have aliens, I'm okay with it.
Well, you'll see the concept art. As you can see, it looks like you're actually in a Jeep, following Indiana Jones in a
Jeep.
In a Jeep with the Indiana Jones, and it looks like the entrance to the ride actually looks like a temple from what it's showing here on the concept art.
Yeah, my best guess is that it looks like an Aztec temple.
I believe so. So it might be involving Montezuma this time.
Yep.
Let's see here, and then the other part of it, that Tropical Americas section, is Encanto. The Tropical Americas section will also feature an Encanto themed attraction. The main thing we learned it is not a boat ride. So there again, no further details except for the concept art you're seeing right now. It is not that.
Well, it look.
Go ahead.
Well, based on the images I see, which I'm getting a little bit of a laugh out of this because I was picturing. I actually was somewhat picturing this when I first saw Encanto. Oh, it looks like it's mainly centering around the house, which is it could be some sort of like a fun house attraction or something. Which again, I'm getting a little bit of a laugh out of it because I was almost picturing that as a possibility back when Encanto just first came out.
I can say it looks like the actual ride building is their house.
Yeah,
I believe, I think, but also it looks like it will also on below that, construction on the Tropical America section begins this fall. So this fall, this will be the last time anyone can get to ride Dinosaur, aka Countdown to Extinction, from what it was originally named.
Well, then again, most of those animatronics are broken, if I remember correctly.
Mostly the Carnivore Tour is at the end. Oh well, scratch what I just said. It will begin construction this fall, and its two main attractions are slated to open in 2027. The project will be done in phases, so you still will be able to ride Dinosaur during the construction. So scratch what I just said. It will still be open for another couple of years.
Well, maybe not for a couple of years. 2020.
It might be closed
I say 2025, but 2026 is pushing it.
Yeah, so 2026 might be. Don't quote us on us saying this, but 2026 might be the last year that Dinosaur is open. Next up, the Epcot at Walt Disney World. Test track is being reimagined. It is not. We now know that it will be scheduled to reopen in 2025. This is like the third time they've redesigned Test Track. Just saying. Which, if I
Well,
could be
not too
wrong.
surprising.
Yeah. This is the third time they redesigned Test Track, which it looks like it will still be sponsored by Chevy again as of the concept art here. And now I could be wrong. I don't know if it's still the fastest ride at Epcot. Could be wrong because of Guardians of the Galaxy being in the same section of Disney World. I'm pretty sure.
Again, it's sponsored by Chevy, so yeah.
Yeah.
Ford fan here.
Let's see here. Below that, here's where we get into the roller coasters, people. Disney's Hollywood Studios, Monsters Inc. land in a suspended coaster attraction. The new Monsters Inc. land will transport guests to Monstropolis for a visit to the infamous Laugh Factory. Inside the Laugh Factory will be the first suspended coaster at a Disney park, a Monsters Inc. door coaster. So sounds like you're actually going inside the doors, into the section where all the doors are for the kids. You'll go into the
factory. I recognize the cars.
Oh, yes. You'll go into the factory
on one of the
images, the first suspended coaster ever in a Disney park. Remember in the movie how all those claws grab the doors and hoist them up into the air and take them away? Yep. We're doing that too, and you're going along for the ride, says Disney chairman Josh D'Amaro of Disney Parks and Resorts. So as of
based on the image.
Oh, sorry. Like John said, you can actually see what the train and cars are going to look like for the coaster when it's done.
Yeah, and I recognize the train. I can clearly tell that that's the new Vekoma SFC model. So that's it's pretty much a giveaway on who's building it.
Yep. Well, I think they have a deal with Vekoma because a lot of their coasters are built by them.
Yeah.
So, but that's one coaster down. I think you'll see more here in a second. The Magic Kingdom. This is another of the big ones at the D23 convention. Villains Land. Magic Kingdom is getting a whole new land, and it's spooky. Villains Land is coming to the park with two major attractions, dining and shopping. Construction has already started on the new land, but there's not any official timeline yet. Now, someone pointed out, as you can see, if you zoom in further in the back, someone said that there's a coaster going to be involved here. If you look in the background towards the left, and it looks like that there's going to be a coaster, and someone was joking on Facebook, on our Facebook page, that it might be an RMC coming, an iBox RMC, if you look towards the background towards the left.
I can see what they're saying, but it also could just be the thorny forest that Maleficent it made up in Sleeping Beauty.
Well, it looks like that's the castle in the very back, dead center. It looks like it's the castle, her castle from Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, so that could just be the thorn forest that she puts up near the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Just before the big fight scene at the end.
Yeah. They've also announced that they are getting a new nighttime parade for Hollywood, for the Magic Kingdom. Apologies. New parade. Disney Starlight will be coming to Magic Kingdom in the summer of 2025. The parade will feature Peter Pan and Kanto and much more. Badge of in the concept art you see Maribel and her sister and her cousins and Bruno, one of her cousins.
It's actually her sister and her uncle.
Thank you.
No, it's her sister and her uncle.
And
it's Isabella and Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
And the other one that they're showing here on the bottom that we're also showing on the screen here is the blue. Looks like the blue fairy from Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, and of course Elsa from Frozen in the back there.
And based on that design, it's her design outfit from Frozen 2, not
Yeah.
the first Frozen.
Yeah. Disney, well, what was formerly Walt Disney Studios Park, which was the French version of Disney Hollywood Studios in Florida, is getting a new retheme. The whole entire that whole park is turning into Disney Adventure World, and what's the centerpiece going to be? Lion King Land, and was the water ride. Disney Adventure.
And I'm just gonna say it, they are finally building Pride Rock.
Yep. Look at, well, as you can see on the concept art, well, be on the screen while I'm reading this. Disney Adventure World, formerly the not so great Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris, will soon be home to the brand new log flume Lion King attraction as part of its reimagining. The ride will take you along Simba's journey from cub to king. This ride will also be part of a new area of the park, the Pride Land, that is dedicated to the beloved 30-year-old film. The area will also include dining, shopping, and character meet and greets. But yes, as you can see from the concept art that was on the screen, it's a log flume ride themed to the Lion King. Now, the way they're showing in the concept art is the 2019 film and the upcoming prequel that's coming out this Christmas. So, but so we don't know.
I kind of feel like it's insult to injury.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of insult to injury because they're saying it's the
based off the original that came out 30 years ago, and not the one that came out 5 years ago that no one really had a care about.
Yeah.
Now, here's one that kept Shanghai Disneyland, which opened in 2016, is getting another new coaster. An all-new Spider-Man roller coaster is coming to Shanghai Disneyland. As is usually the case, Peter's gotten himself into a little trouble, and you get to follow him at high speed to get us all safe. As of right now, and
it's another roller coaster.
The only details we have right now are the two concept art pictures that are on the screen. I can't really tell what coaster company manufacturer is actually building this for them. Again, it might be Vekoma because they have a deal with Vekoma, but it could be a different one.
So it also looks like it could potentially be Intamin's track.
True.
It's their newer track design.
Now, it could be wrong, but the second concept art that they're showing, it looks like it's Electro that you might be fighting, because the blue looks like electric lightning bolts.
And based on what I can tell on the concept image, if this is supposed to be an accurate part of the ride, it's not going to be it's not the station. It looks like it's supposed to be a pre-show just before a launch.
Yep. And last but not least, for the D23 ride announcements, is Hong Kong Disneyland, the final one that's getting new stuff. Hong Kong Disneyland is also getting on the Spider-Man action with a new attraction coming to Stark Expo. This is one Peter Parker comes to showcase some of his new inventions, but this attracts some of Spider-Man's enemies, and of course, you get caught in the action. Details are slim right now, but the concept art looks kind of like the Tower of Terror vehicle. We get a Doc Ock sighting.
Yeah, you can clearly tell Doc Ock in the background, and though it's kind of hard to tell because the silhouette is pretty blurry on what version they're doing. If they're doing something more original, or are they doing something based on a certain series, or the MCU version, which really doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, but like it says in the article that we're getting our info from here, there's very little details right now that we got for the new attractions that are coming in the next couple of years to the Disney parks. But all in all, besides some of the attractions that are possibly leaving and stuff, it all looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, the two that I'm most excited with is definitely the Star Wars one, because, like I mentioned with our original one that we did for a Star Wars themed attraction, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I personally have already seen The Mandalorian, so I can kind of will be able to recognize a lot of the characters.
Yep. And I did forget one other thing. The Animal Kingdom getting one more thing, and this is actually opening next winter. And that's in a different article. I'll leave it in the description as well. From blogmickey.com. Zootopia, Better Zoo Gether Tree of Life show. The new Tree of Life show, based on Zootopia, has received a name and opening season. The show, which will replace It's Tough to Be a Bug, is called Zootopia Better Zoo Getter and will open in winter 2025 at the Animal Kingdom. Closing date for It's Tough to Be a Bug is not yet to be announced at this time. So, to further explain, when Animal Kingdom first opened, there was a tree inside or show inside the Tree of Life called It's Tough to Be a Bug, which was based off of Bug's life. It has been there since opening day, and the animatronics, as of a couple of years ago, have stopped working in it, but mostly the one that of Hopper. So I understand that it's been there for a while and it's a fan favorite, but it's time to go. The only thing it doesn't make sense to me. The only thing it doesn't make sense to me is why the heck the Zootopia characters are underneath the tree.
I'm also on that as well, but I can understand why they're getting rid of it. It does to be about, or sorry if I messed up that name. It's just this is a common thing for most amusement parks. As something gets old, they can either dump a bunch of money into revamping it or get something new, and they're obviously doing the latter.
Which again, it's tough to be a bug. It's been there since it opened, and that was Earth Day of 1998. So yeah, it's time to go. But other than that, like I said, these aren't set in stone yet, except for a few. But it looks but the few that are attractions that are leaving, I personally am actually excited for some of them. John's excited for the new Mandalorian and Mandalorian section for Smuggler's Run. I am as well. I'm also excited for the new
and the Avatar section.
Oh yes, and that new Avatar section coming to Disneyland California Adventure. But what do you guys think? What are you excited for? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe and follow our social media links that are also in the description below. And this is Andy the Gemini Man.
And John the Mystic Rider.
And we will see you on the next episode.